And now we have the next part of our discussion on fluid motion. We have Archimedes principle. When an object is partially or fully submerged in a fluid, a buoyant force coming from the fluid acts on the object. This force is upward and has a magnitude equal to the weight magnitude of the displaced fluid. So say you have an object submerged in a fluid, it has weight W. Coming from the fluid, a buoyant force will act on the object. Buoyant force, FBF. The buoyant force is always upward. And due to the volume of the object, the same volume of fluid will be displaced by the object. The buoyant force magnitude is equal to the weight magnitude of that displaced fluid. FBF magnitude is equal to MDF times G. MDF, mass of the displaced fluid. And due to the buoyant force, objects appear lighter in fluids that are denser than air. We typically weigh objects when they are in air. Air is a fluid. When an object is in a fluid that is denser than air, the object will appear lighter than it is due to the action of the buoyant force. Thus, we have what is referred to as the apparent weight. The apparent weight is equal to weight of the object plus the buoyant force. So note, this is vector addition. So in essence, if you look at the figure, buoyant force is opposite the weight. So their magnitudes will subtract to give you the magnitude of the apparent weight. And depending on the combination of weight and FBF, the apparent weight may be heading downward or it may be heading upward. If the weight of the object is greater than the magnitude of the buoyant force, the apparent weight is downward, the object will sink or accelerate downwards. If the weight magnitude and the buoyant force magnitude are equal, the apparent weight of the object will be 0. The object will simply be suspended in place. On the other hand, if the buoyant force magnitude is greater than the weight magnitude, the weight apparent will be upward. The object will move up to the surface of the fluid or move upwards. It will accelerate upwards. So note, we have the apparent weight, which is different from the actual weight of the object. Apparent weight is basically weight of the object plus the buoyant force coming from the fluid. And that's it for now. In the next video, we'll continue our discussion on fluid motion. In the next video, we'll take a look at a couple of examples. So, that's it for now, and thank you for watching.